Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I am DK Kim, your source for latest Genesis, Hyundai, Kia, and KGM. And the car I am test driving is 2027 Kia Seltos Gasoline two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive. It is important because I know this is the car that is gonna get sold the most. And I am coming up with this video as I have promised, because in my previous reviews and test drives, I only had access to 1.6 turbo gasoline all-wheel drive and 1.6 NA naturally aspirated hybrid two-wheel drive, which both of them actually had multi-links on the rear. However, come this front-wheel drive, two-wheel drive Seltos, the rear suspension is made of coupled torsion beam axle. So it is different physically in terms of the multi-links that were offered. For your information, there is no all-wheel drive for hybrids. It is two-wheel drive, front-wheel drive hybrid with multi-links on the rear. And I know a lot of people are looking for that model, but it is just not offered for the Seltos hybrid just yet. Before I do anything, let me step outside and show you underneath the rear of the car so I can show you how it looks, how it is different physically in terms of the rear suspensions. Finally, some good sunlight. Oh, I thought it did not come with this wide panoramic sunroof. Well, I started off from the underground parking lot, so it was completely dark, but I thought it was a model that didn't come with it. But you can see all the difference in the world. Just look at this thing. It is ridiculously big for the car's size. It is well over 70% of the entire roof. From the start of here all the way to there. Look at that. And they pushed the antenna right next to the sunroof, getting all that crazy size. Moment of truth, most importantly. Tell me you can see it. Okay, right there. We see the rear suspension is physically connected all the way from the left to right, and I finally get to see this in person. So that is the physical evidence, the rigid torsion beam axle right there. I know there are a lot of opinions, and probably we are already prejudiced about these suspensions, but that's what I really try my best not to be, because last thing I want is be prejudiced before I even test drive and feel the car to myself, right? And I already have a few thoughts and comments I want to share with you already, but let me tell you more about it as I drive, because it's all about the test drive today after all. I already have plenty of videos showing you the colors, exterior, interior, design difference between the X line. It might be called differently in other parts of the world, but it is called the X line, where you get the extra upgraded design bumpers both on the front and rear, and also different interior design as well. Once again, I did go over and cover all this in my previous videos, so please refer to that for more information, because I have very limited time today with the car. But the carpets and fire extinguishers and the emergency tire mobility kit. But most important difference is right here underneath this cover. Korean models do not get a donut, no spare tires underneath, because we get all these emergency fixer kits, and we have great roadside assistance here in Korea. Most of the cars never ever end up using the donut, so that's the reason why. But for markets that are necessary, you will get the donut. Otherwise, Kia would have never even made that space, right? And one in the middle that shows right there, that is the screw for that donut. And as you can see, there is the extra space underneath the trunk, and you can also lower. Oh, what a cool place I found. Look at that. So it is one of the stations for the subway. Oh, look at that, that's cool. So you can also lower this trunk. I'm not gonna do it right now because I got so much stuff, but you can lower it right there and get that much extra space on the trunk compartment as well. And I did physically measure that. That is precisely 11 centimeters that you get as an extra. And so that is the difference you get with the gasoline versus the hybrid. Hybrid also does have a little bit of space underneath the compartment as well, but due to the batteries and extra components that need to go underneath the car, they have separated spaces instead of that whole white space we just saw with the gasoline. So those of you guys looking for the gasoline, you could say that that's a pro. So that's an advantage you have over the hybrid model. As for the design, there is no difference and discrimination. It doesn't even say hybrid no more. It doesn't say 1.6T, nothing like that. That probably is one of the ways of Kia saying that there is no such discrimination of this eco and environmental friendly car versus the original conventional cars. And as far as the fuel consumption goes, I mean, yeah, the hybrid Seltos gives and does an amazing job with the fuel consumption, but this gasoline is no joke. And I have proven and shown that to myself, and Seltos is certainly one of those cars that yield great fuel economy because I hardly ever never reach the manufacturer's fuel economy. And again, the blame is on me because it's the same with the ICE internal combustion engine cars and BEV battery electric vehicles, but I actually managed to get very similar and close fuel economy with both gasoline and hybrid Seltos. So before we move away, we can see it's got the X line, and you can also adjust and tilt the second row seat in multiple ways. I think I counted up to about 16 different levels. So that's how delicately you can control the rear seats. And you can see it's got the 60 to 40% ratio. So it is not 40, 20, 40. Right there is the cup holder, and there is no ski through. This is very similar, if not the same, with the ones that we've seen from Kia EV5. Coat hanger, you can also use it as a handle. You can get really creative with it. Heated seats and fully automated window, even for the second row, you can see. However, the car does not come with dual laminated acoustic glasses, unlike the first row, because check that out. So dual laminated acoustic glasses, which definitely helps with the NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness, that I'll tell you all about as I test drive the car. And the relaxation seat, you can go in with a push of a button like so, and come back up should you want, of course. As far as the seat is concerned, the car also offers the Vibro sound seat. It literally vibrates according to the sound and music you play inside the car, and that does make a huge difference. The 1.6 turbo here is connected together with the 8-speed automatic, which I personally think is one of the best transmissions that HMG has got to offer for the segment and class. It just runs and drives the car like a charm. If you haven't tried it already, trust me, you will love it. The comfort, the ride, and the fuel economy even for that matter. Speaking of the transmission, this all-new Kia Seltos also offers the manual drive mode. That is different from the manual modes that we've been seeing. I'll show you about that momentarily. And if you didn't know, I actually drove 2027 Kia all-new Seltos Hybrid on my way up here. I am long-term test driving the car, and I've been driving that car for the past few days. So there are a few points that I can spot immediately, especially more so when I go over the speed bump. It is actually more about the lateral movement where you get the twist and different suspension work needed for each side of the rear wheel. So it's not going to be all that noticeable when I go over on a straight line like this. So let me try to find a twisty angled uphill for the best result. So if you are looking for the gasoline and hybrid difference, I already do have a video on that, so please refer to that video, because I literally drove the car back to back one after another, spotted the differences immediately. So except for the car being a gasoline internal combustion engine, it is just as quiet as the hybrid, of course, except when the engine is physically running like now. whereas the hybrid would actually shut the engine off, keep the car completely silent at a red light like this, and where essentially is an EV. Adding on to that, there is also the hybrid explicit mode, such as stay mode, where you can utilize the battery only, run the AC, charge your accessories, and you name it. I guess I am the one deviating from that. I gotta come back to the gasoline review. So this car I am driving is from the driving center, meaning a lot of different people have been driving the car and tested this car. With 380 kilometers on the total odometer, 7.8 kilometers per liter. So that is mixing and putting together all the real world fuel economy. Depending on the trim and models, the gasoline model offers all the way from 11.0 kilometers per liter to 12.5 kilometers per liter, which mostly has to do with the size of the wheels and tires. If you didn't know, the wheels and tires have a huge impact in terms of the fuel economy and also the ride comfort as well. And it's not really going to be a great example to give you the fuel consumption because I think I can hardly put about 10 kilometers on this car. But trust me, if you are those fuel economy friendly person driver, you will certainly exceed the number given by the manufacturer. And the proof of that, there was a fellow YouTuber who actually clocked 22.0 kilometers per liter with the hybrid, and that was under the cold winter that we had on that day. The Seltos has gotten bigger than the predecessor, both exterior and interior wise, but I just can't complain. It's a great city commuter car. It is not the largest SUV you can get or you would need, so long as this car checks the boxes for you. And just right there, the transmission really delivers the power from the engine, which this car offers at 193 horsepower with 27 kilogram force meters of torque. Whereas the hybrid offers 141 horsepower. 50 horsepower difference actually does mean a lot, especially for cars under 200 horsepower. I mean, you will feel the difference of 10 horsepower even. However, hybrid did a fabulous job of delicately distributing the torque and response where needed the most, such as moving from a complete stop just like now. So I honestly don't really feel the difference between the two. Well, because that 193 horsepower does not pump out immediately at the moment you tap on the accelerator. You need to have a proper high RPM in order to enjoy all that horsepower there is, right? So right over here, just like now, we hear a bit of engine roar, but the car is responsive. It just moves the car immediately. And the speed bump, I really need the different angle for the rear wheels. Oh, maybe this one, maybe this one. Okay, a bit uphill like this. I mean, honestly, if it's not the prejudice and me knowing the physical difference of those suspension types, and again, I'm really trying my best to pinpoint the differences between these two, right? And I don't think I am feeling all that much, to be honest. The car also does offer downhill speed assist, and that is the manual mode where you can access by rotating one more time from the drive mode. Vehicle is in drive, turn lever D and hold it until the gear turns into M, just like that. And when it goes into the manual, it will show you with M1. It will try its best to keep the car at that transmission gear you selected and you wanted. So this will come in handy when you go downhill like this. You definitely want to keep the car at low gear, use the engine brake for the safety purpose. And there are times when you need to manually control the car. I have the downhill speed assist on, look at this. take your foot off the accelerator, the car will detect the downslope and controls the speed just like that. And of course, when you hit on the accelerator, the car will also accelerate to your desired speed, just like so. And when you are out of the downhill, we can turn that off. The downhill brake control is the official name. So from a stop, accelerating, not flooring, just a good gentle tap on the accelerator, the car responds just like that. I absolutely adore this 8-speed automatic. It truly is a beautiful transmission. So why should you get the gasoline model over the hybrid? Number one, the price. Hybrid is great. It's got the latest techs out there. It's got all the goodies there is, the V2L, stay mode, and also EVMC, where it helps with a ride and drive by controlling with handling. But all of this, of course, comes at a cost. You gotta pay more and go with the hybrid to get all these features. And it better be that good because you're paying that much extra. If you go with the same similar trims with the gasoline versus hybrid, you're paying $1,500 more. All this number is solely based on the Korean spec, so please double check with your local dealerships, but hybrids are certainly going to be more expensive than the gasoline. The money difference between the two, if you convert all that into gas money, it actually takes quite a lot of time for you to catch up because you only close the gap every time you refuel, and that doesn't really happen all that much, right? So if you do put that into calculations, it takes at least 2 to 3 years for you to compensate the money difference that you have put in. Don't get me wrong, I am all for the hybrid because it's not just the fuel economy, you get all the goodies that I just told you about. So I am a hybrid person myself, but logically speaking, there is a great advantage that this gasoline gets over hybrid for that matter. The fuel economy, once again, this will certainly be better depending on how you drive the car because I know what this car is capable of. So that coupled torsion beam was what I was really into when I signed up for this test drive today. I don't know. I might feel the difference the moment I step inside the hybrid once again, but it's not a fair game because I'm not driving the gasoline, but rather it's the hybrid. So there is the additional ride and comfort enhancement with the hybrid over the gasoline. So it's not a fair game, but I really doubt that I would pinpoint the differences immediately. In terms of the rear suspensions alone, unnoticeable? I don't know. See, I'm trying to. Okay, you see, I am really trying to find rough roads, try to make the car bounce and shake here and there. Narrow city drives, alleyways, beauty of the physical size of the Seltos here, and even if a tight parking lot like this, we can turn on the camera. And be out of our way, just like this. Plenty of room, plenty of room. Very comfortable, cozy, easy to drive in cities. Oh boy, that suspension. I think I will have to save my answer until I switch over to the hybrid again. And there's also this built-in cam 2.0 Plus, which now records up to 4 days. So you get all the same goodies that you can get with the hybrid. I'm really trying to feel that rear suspension, as you can see, but oh wow. So you get all the same goodies you can get with the hybrid, the latest techs out there, CCNC, infotainment system, the Vibro sound seat and all. Having said all this, the decision is yours. I'm sorry, I thought I would be able to pinpoint the differences right away, tell you how these are different in terms of the suspensions. Well, I pretty much said the same thing when I first did the comparison review of the hybrid and gasoline. They are different, but they both are great. They are so much better than the predecessor for sure, period. But if that rear suspension, for somehow, some reason, well, it's probably the prejudice you have. The more you know about the car, the more prejudice. So if it's not for that, I really just don't see the reason for you to switching over to the hybrid. I just really don't. All right, so that's it for today. I am DK Kim of CarSceneKorea, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. By the way, I have the matching color outfit. Have you noticed?